Hello everyone. So this marks a very special day in my life. So today was not only my wife's birthday, today was also the day when I got my first OLED TV. So ever since I came to know of OLED tech back in the year 2008, right? If I would want to go for any display, OLED is the only way for me to go ahead with. So starting with the Galaxy i5700 and the Galaxy S series, which were the first Android devices to introduce OLED tech on smartphones, I knew that even if I were to get a TV someday, I wished OLED TVs would come, and OLED TVs did come. So somewhere around the year, I think 2015, 16, there were a lot of OLEDs from LG out there in the market, but those were excruciatingly expensive. I know even Full HD TVs of 43 inch or 55 inch were costing somewhere around 2.5 lakhs at that period of time. So a couple of years back in 2024, I finally bought an OLED TV, which was from Xiaomi during the Diwali sale. But then there were a few issues with the display, and I had to return it. So I didn't purchase another TV again because the prices were again very high. So even but I kept on browsing Flipkart and Amazon for offers on OLED TVs. So when I bought the Xiaomi TV in 2024 Diwali sale, I bought it at around 50k. At that point of time, LG B3, another one of the highest selling OLED TVs out there in the market, was available at around 65k during the same period. But since I had bought the Xiaomi TV and I didn't have any other card with me at that point of time, I went ahead with accepting the Xiaomi TV and I didn't go for the LG one. I received a TV, I think 3 or 4 days later, but then I found out there were a couple of dead pixels at a few of the corners, so I returned it. I kept on observing the prices of OLED TVs from that point of time. So Samsung also launched a couple of budget OLED TVs at a later point. So Samsung, I think S90 series is the one that I'm talking about. So that one was available at Flipkart as well as Amazon for somewhere around 90k for quite some time. I also found that Haier also launched a couple of OLED TVs, the C90 and the 95 series. So the one that I bought is the C90 55-inch model. So LG and Samsung are the typical brands to go for OLED TVs. But from my experience and whatever understanding I have of the TV OS out there, LG and Samsung, they use their proprietary operating system. While LG uses WebOS, Samsung uses its Tizen based operating systems, and I wanted an Android one. So that was one of the primary reason that I went ahead with the Haier model. So Haier, if you would have noticed, it had entered India as a budget Chinese brand, but over the last 3 4 years, it has pushed the ASP of its products much higher. After now, higher products, be it a refrigerator, TV, or anything, those will be finding the price ranges of similar TVs from LG or Samsung or Sony. So from a brand point of view, Haier was a good brand by this time. And the specs of the TV, if I compare to the LG as well as the Samsung available at a similar price range, it's a much more advanced TV and it offers the openness of Google TV operating system. So in this video, I will try to cover the TV, its features, why I chose it over, let's say, WebOS based as well as a Samsung Tizen based TV. Right. Here you can see, so the TV came to me, I think 3 days after I placed the order. So the installation guys and the delivery guys were separate. Here in this video till now, whatever you have seen, these are the delivery guys. So what they do is, it comes with an open box delivery. They would take the TV out and then they would just turn it on and see the basic things, whether it's working or not, to confirm that the product has been delivered and it's not faulty at the prima facie level. The installation was supposed to happen after 2 days, so that's what Flipkart Flipkart page for the product for my purchase was showing, but I wanted installation on the date of the purchase itself. So in addition to placing the order 3 days back, I also called up higher customer care and I placed a request for an installation without even the TV that had gotten delivered, right? So I had placed an order for installation, and higher installation was fairly responsive. The very same day in the evening, I got a call that when I want the installation, I did check with them whether it will also come with all the brand assistance that I would have got if I had taken the Flipkart installation route, and they ensured that it's the same, and they would also bring the free wall stand that would come along with the installation guy. So everything went accordingly to plan. So just after 1 hour of the delivery of the TV, here you can see the higher technician also arrived. So again, the technician was fairly professional. He did recommend me that I should go for a swivel-based TV stand, which would cost somewhere around 2500 rupees extra. But I didn't want to spend any more bucks at all. So now, before I go into the rest of the videos, you can see that the installation technician is installing the TV, and by this time the installation was completed. So by this time, I would also like to point out the price that I paid for this device, right? So the listed price of the product was 1,05,000 rupees. I have been following all the OLED TVs on Flipkart as well as Amazon for quite some time, and every few days I would check what price it's running at. So this TV was coming at a price point of 1,05,000. The LG, I think B5 model, right? That was coming at around 1,10,000. Samsung's S90 55-inch was coming at around 89,000. But surprisingly, I noticed, I mean, that 3 days back, I think 10th of April, 10th or 11th of April, I noticed that there was a bank offer of 30,000 rupees that was applicable on the purchase of this higher TV. At the same time, I was also getting a real good exchange value of 8,000 for my existing 43-inch of 6-year-old Xiaomi TV. So I went ahead and bought the device. So there is it. It is, you can see that the TV is installed on the wall, and it comes with this super sleek remote. So this comes with a Type-C port as well as a solar charging plate. So no more worries about getting the battery discharged, or let's say plugging out the battery for some other device and then losing the batteries, right? So you don't have to think about anything. Just charge it with my regular Type-C charger and that would do. And there you can see the first glimpse of the OLED quality of the TV. The camera of my iPhone 17 Pro, it hardly captures the real visual experience that I am looking at right now. The black and the contrast level, right? Black means black in OLED. So whatever the other comparable TV techs are out there in the market, right? LED, QD LED, mini LED, whatever it's out there in the market, these are all LCDs. They would all typically have a liquid crystal layer at the front and some sort of LED backlighting at the back. Now the older LCD TVs would have maybe a very few arrays of LEDs at the back or on the edges. The newer QD LED maybe would have a quantum dot layer, but at the back it would be the same LEDs. The mini LED would have a much higher number of LEDs at the back side, but nothing comes even close to an OLED TV, because in OLED all the pixels, right, these 4K pixels on the screen, these are all self-illuminating, which means if something is black, there would be no light that would come out of those set of pixels. So here you can see the black section is completely black. Now in other sort of LED technologies, black means just a layer, a filter of black color placed in front of the LED backlight. So the contrast level are not even comparable to what an OLED TV has to offer, and the visual experience is just mind blowing. You just have to look at an OLED TV and then decide for yourself. The moment you start using an OLED TV, you will know that this is different. This is what quality and the the prowess of technology brings in front of you. So the regular TV interface, it's a standard Google TV, and if you have used any Android TV or Google TV in the past, you would be completely at ease with the UI that you get. So there is nothing, no sort of customization at all. It's plain Google TV in front of you. So there are a host of apps that are already pre-installed in the TV, which include Hotstar, Netflix, Prime, and all the common used apps. You would already find it preloaded on the TV. So I'll just scroll around the TV and show you around the UI what it looks like. Now this TV comes with 3 GB of RAM and 32 GB of onboard memory, which means the UI is extremely sleek. So I'm coming from a Xiaomi TV of like 2020, and everything is buttery smooth. I mean, it's the same kind of experience that you would typically get while let's say installing an Apple Fire TV 4K. I mean, that level of slickness you would be able to observe. There is no lag or no, let's say, stuck frames at all whatever I open. So Netflix, as you have already seen, right, it's completely sleek, and the app opening times are extremely small. I'll also try to close and then open Prime Video, and you would be able to get an idea of how much time it takes, let's say, for any app to open. And again, just to reiterate, it's significantly fast than any of the other TVs out there in the market. You can see, right, it is already loaded. Now coming back to one of the reasons why I wanted an Android TV instead of a proprietary OS. So Android gives you the openness of installing multiple things from the Play Store, as well as, let's say, some different sort of apps which would let you access things that are normally not yet out there and on the OTT platform. So here you can see one of these apps where a lot of content you would be able to access. I'm not someone who is suggesting that you should go for these kind of apps, but yeah, you have the option of getting things from outside the app stores of the proprietary OS in case you are using an Android or a Google TV. For example, myself being a hardcore sci-fi fan, Project Hail Mary was one of my hit list movies that I wanted to watch. But with 2 kids at home, how do I even go and watch it, right? So this is one of the ways of, let's say, taking a sneak peek at some of the movies that we are not able to go out there in the theaters to watch. So yeah, that's why, I mean, Android, the kind of openness it gives to the user, it's unmatched. So that's one of the primary reasons why I wanted an Android TV and not any of the other proprietary OS based TVs. And I have compared the picture quality of Samsung or an LG or an Haier. The screen typically for all OLEDs is made by LG and maybe BOE or one other company which manufacture OLED panels. So in terms of visual experience, whether it's an LG, Samsung, Sony, or even the Haier, or in Western markets, I think Philips, Panasonic, Skyworth, and a lot of other brands also make OLED TVs. The visual experience is more or less the same. It's just the software and the other hardware features where the products are a bit different. But in terms of other hardware features also, this Haier TV is comparatively much superior than a similar price TV out there in the market. So it comes with a 120 Hz variable refresh rate panel, which means it can automatically change the refresh rate basis the kind of content that is being played. It comes with HDR10 plus support. It also has 50-watt Harman Kardon speaker, which offers a sort of audio experience which hardly is comparable with any of the other TVs out there in the market. And just look at the visual experience that you get. So if you go to the color option, so there is a quick settings option on the remote button which opens up this small settings bar, and this has various options including picture modes, sound, then connectivity, accessibility, and the inputs. So if I look at the picture modes available, so there are multiple modes. As you can see, if I change the modes, you will be able to see the noticeable change that it brings to the screen. So there are, I think, 4 or 5 pre-configured modes, which are games, sports, vivid, then I think energy saving, etc. So out of all these, and then you can also define as per your experience. You can change everything starting from brightness, hue, contrast, all sorts of, I mean, settings of the picture quality you can do by yourself. So I tried most of the settings out. So what I found was the game or the sports mode are the most suitable to my eyes. It might be different for your eyes, so it's completely up to you. And the brightness levels can be enhanced much higher. So the TV officially comes, I think, somewhere with 500 nits of brightness. Compared to a comparable QLED TV, the brightness levels of QLED TVs are much higher, somewhere in the likes of maybe 1500 or 2000 nits. But in OLED, because of the contrast ratios, right, you would be able, from a visual experience, the colors and contrast will be much more poppy than any of the other LED displays out there in the market. The device also comes with various OLED features like pixel shifting, which helps sustain the longevity of the OLED panel. So one of the things with OLED panel is OLED, because there are LEDs that are self-illuminating. Over time, what has been seen is OLEDs are prone to burn-in effects, which means if there is a static uh, display content, for example, the logos of news channels, the score ticker keeps on, being at the same place for a very long time, over years of usage, those pixels sort of, let's say, fade in color. It's a normal physical process. The more a light has been lit over time, it will of course lose some of its brightness. So burn-in is typically more prone in case of OLED TVs, and to avoid burn-in, various safety features are built into OLED. So modern OLEDs hardly face any burn-in issues, and the features that I have just talked about, right? For example, OLED compensation, pixel shifting, etc., helps, let's say, maintain the OLED quality for a longer period of time. So this TV already comes with these safety features built in. Apart from these, I could see multiple other features options. So this device also supports MEMC, which means that fast moving sports or any other video content, you would not see any jitters, which would typically be seen in case of other sort of content. So I will play around with all these settings. It has been just one day for me with this TV. So over the period of the next few weeks, I will also try and explore more what all these features, how they affect the quality of the display. So more or less, that's from a picture point of view, whatever has this TV has to offer for the end customers. So again, just swiping through all these settings, you get so many different controls of everything that you want to display on the screen. I just felt a bit lost when I started exploring all these features. So that's what I said. I had used a Xiaomi OLED, which was a very budget oriented OLED that I had bought like 2 years back, and that was a 60 Hz panel without any of the advanced features at all. So whenever you play an HDR content, you see an HDR logo that pops at the top left corner. So coming to the connectivity options, the device comes with Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.2. So you are covered in terms of connectivity options. Now getting deeper into the settings, so it's a standard Google TV and it comes with Android OS 11, which was sort of a bit of bummer for me. I expected Android 14. So I think this will anyways be upgraded to Android 14. I checked for system update if any pending updates were there, but there was none. But I have seen in multiple forums this has already been upgraded to Android 14 in multiple markets. So I hope this will also come to the Indian market. So again, being an OLED TV, using screensavers to display, let's say your personal albums, it just looks like a picture frame, right? So you can either use your own Google Photos as your screensaver, or alternatively it has the option of setting, let's say, the entire base of Android art gallery as the screensaver, which means every time you would go into a standby mode, you would see some random sleek image from Google repository showing up on your TV. This TV also has far field mics, which means OK Google works without the need of pressing any button on the remote, and it works directly from the TV. OK Google, play Dhurandhar 2 hit songs on YouTube. OK Google, play the next song. OK Google, play Dhurandhar trailer. So we often skip the sound quality of TVs, but this TV delivers a punch in terms of sound quality through its 50-watt Harman Kardon speakers. Right? The comparable OLED TVs from LG and Samsung, they offer typically somewhere around 20 to 30 watt speakers, but this is another league of its own. So there you have it. That's an overview and an initial impression of one of my dream gadgets come true. I hope this TV lasts long. I don't see any burn-in, and it keeps on delivering the same high quality image throughout at least the next 5-6 years. Then I'll be more than happy with and content with the decision that I have made. With the exchange offer and the bank discount, I effectively paid just 66,000 for this TV, and I think that's a steal deal. If you are able to get at this TV at anywhere around 70k, just go for it. I couldn't find any video content or review of the TV on YouTube, which also, it was a risk from my end, but for you, because I already bought it, just push your questions on the comment section and I'll be happy to help. And yeah, it's a steal deal. Just go for it. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.